What's up, YouTube? It is your girl Latrina, and I am back again today with another tarot spread read. And starting off in our first row, we do get the card of the Ace of Cups, which speaks of a brand new beginning. Usually it's a passionate beginning. Also, we get to diffuse the situation, and we get the thought card with a man here that may be in some sort of thought. And this man may be in thought about this passionate brand new beginning, because we do get the baby card right with that Ace of Cups lined up with it. Whatever this situation is regarding with this man that's in thought, and it's dealing with a situation that he refuses to let go of, with this death card coming out in the reverse as well. That tells me that this man does not want to let go of this brand new beginning. Something that he sees as a brand new beginning, something that he would like to diffuse the situation upon with that ace. And if you can see that there will be no positive movement forward regarding this situation, and I'm assuming that he can see that there's no positive movement forward, because it does have him in concern. And it says love is not blind, it merely doesn't see. Someone may need to be, brought back to life after receiving the clarity that there will be no positive movement forward regarding this brand new passionate beginning with this Ace of Cups. Someone just refuses to put something to rest with that death card coming out in the reverse. Because see, we next have anger coming out as the top card in our second row. Because, someone is angry. They refuse to let go. They want to hold on to something. And it may be regarding some type of pentacles, some type of finances that they want to hold on to. They refuse to let go of this Four of Pentacles. They have dropped the ball when it comes to the situation. Someone has dropped the ball when this Two of Pentacles comes in the reverse. That's the message that I get, because of a lack of self-control, and maybe some things that were said also that has caused them to drop the ball on this brand new passionate beginning. And it has them angry, because they did have an expectation for something in the distant horizon. Something was even in there, they were expecting something in their near future. The distant horizon card comes out with that expectation. Also, we get everything ancient is to be respected. So maybe, someone was angry about, the actions that was taken against somebody's life. Or maybe someone was angry about some things that were said, It made them really, really angry. Or maybe this will make them angry, because it does say the distant horizon. So maybe this anger hasn't even become an issue yet. But it will, because it has the card in the distant horizon, and then it's expectation. maybe someone's expecting, some sort of anger response or reaction for this drop ball, situation. Some, situation that somebody was mismanaging with those pentacles coming out in the reverse. Because you see, we do get the judge coming out also in the reverse in that third row. And this is current energy with the Six of Cups in the reverse. It speaks of present day. And then we get something that was worked upon, with this Eight of Pentacles, which whatever that was worked upon was actually regarding a red rum for hire situation. It looks like that was the situation that was worked upon. And it looks like this judge may have even worked on this situation. He may be in a part of this red rum for hire situation. And it also has, some a courtship. There was also a couple that was working upon this red rum, probably with this judge. They had to move on from this situation. We get the moving on card also coming out in the third row with the judge in the reverse. Family. So this judge may be working on something currently, because this is current energy. Working on something with your family. They're in a partnership. This judge and your family are in a partnership working on this situation, when it regards this red rum for hire. But someone did drop the ball, regarding this matter. They dropped two balls. And it left someone extremely angry. And even in thought about a brand new, maybe trying to diffuse the situation and create a passionate beginning, but like I said in the beginning, there will be no positive movement forward with that attempt. And there's, because something is dead. Someone just refuses to, accept that something is actually dead. When it comes to these attempts, they really don't have the life, the breath, and the oxygen, and the elements that's required to do this murder for hire plot. Something has come to an end on that. But this gentleman refuses to accept that end. He refuses that. And like I said, he's become angry about, dropping the ball, probably because he worked upon this. This may be something that he did, as an occupation. Whenever you see that Eight of Pentacles coming out, regarding your occupation. And it looks like he even had a judge in on the situation coming out in the reverse. This judge may have something to do with this these efforts that were made against you, that has had to be, left behind and moved on. Everybody involved had to move on from this situation that was worked upon to end a particular individual's life. Someone was paid to do that. They worked on it, like I said, as a team, probably with this judge or with another individual. It was two people coming out as a couple, like a courtship, that did actually invest in this. because in the next fourth row we have the Knight of Wands coming out, which, someone took some swift action, and it looks like it may be, this friend card comes out also with that swift action. But if you can see, that friend has also got the enemy right on the side of it. So this guy is unidentifiable. He's someone that you really can't pin as a friend or an enemy. He shows up as a friend, but in all truth, he's really an enemy, because he is the Knight of Wands, which does show up as a dirty official. And it may be this judge that's showing up as this dirty official. There's also been someone looking into this situation. Whenever you see this Hermit coming out, shedding this light upon the things that, he had to do some digging. And it looks like once he did do some digging about this Knight of Wands, or this dirty law official, he actually, received a message of concern about this situation. And it says the great minds think alike, abusive, with patience. So frenemy, and then after the frenemy card, we next get the falseness, as well as the devil shows up in this read today, with the Page of Swords and a sad child card with that. So it looks like, there's going to be some information coming in regarding this falseness, because there may be an official person that's actually involved in the situation. Maybe someone that's of higher authority that can actually, take more further look at this judge, or maybe this hermit. Possibly put this official person onto some information. This information, he's taking swift action when it comes to this Knight of Wands. This official person has had to take some sort of swift action. Maybe this official person took some swift action about this falseness, regarding this murder for hire. That devil, that devil is representing cruelty. He represents all kind of adverse actions in this spread. He's representing all of that. And this judge is still presently working on this murder for hire. He's still working on it, because this is the present day energy. So you might want to be aware of that, because someone did drop the ball with these attempts, which did erode someone's anger, because they refuse to let go of that, because they're juggling. They're juggling pentacles for one thing, And then they dropped the ball. Not only were they juggling these pentacles, trying to balance out their finances and trying to get things to measure up, it just didn't happen because he just dropped the ball. These balls just drop once that reversal flips upside down. And we can only hope that this official person shows up, to do some justice to this situation. We hope that this official person can actually see, with this hermit card. Maybe this official person is actually able to see the action that was taken against an individual by this law official. I think this official person has really gotten that information from looking and examining some things. It may just be a matter of, timing and patience, when it comes to this situation. Because someone did look upon this. He looked upon this frenemy, this hermit did. He actually shed some light on this frenemy, and he even shed some light upon this law official, whomever this individual is, coming out as this official person, because he does come out in the upright, that official person does, which does, lead me to believe that he may be, actually officially doing his job, correctly. He may be an honest man, someone of higher authority even than this judge, someone that can even shed light upon this judge. It looks like this official person did receive a triumph when looking into this situation. He saw that there was no politeness. It was just all hate, because that devil too, that devil represents, a loveless situation, in my opinion. Whenever you see him, he's got you attached in bondage to something. He tries to attach and bond himself to things, and sometimes, he's successful at it, but it looks like there may be, an investigator that did look into something, showing up as this hermit and this official person regarding this judge that did, work together. He worked on something, involving ending your actual existence, taking you out of here, in the current day. We're not talking about the past. We're talking about current energy. And maybe this judge is angry, at the imbecile that dropped these pentacles, dropped these opportunities to actually due to no self-control. That's how these pentacles got dropped, because there was no control of oneself.